Utah Department of Health.
In this Baby Your Baby segment, we're talking about a question I know a lot of parents have, especially this time of year. Joined by Jennifer Meyer, we're talking about when you should keep your children home from school, when they should see a doctor, depending on what some of their symptoms are. What's the actual answer?
So it's a big question,
Right?
and it really depends on the illness. We're in flu season right now, so I'd say the biggest thing to keep an eye out for is fever. So fever above 101, definitely want to stay home from school. And if your child isn't feeling well, probably good to check in with the doctor as well.
Absolutely. And then what about if your child maybe isn't seeing any symptoms when you take them to school, but then symptoms kind of set in once they get there? What's that line that should be crossed there?
Yeah, good question, and that can often be the case because we can often have an illness before we start to show symptoms. So it's good to always have your number available to the school, and the school has some great protocols of calling if kids have fever or if they start showing things like vomiting or diarrhea, and those are reasons they should be taken out for the day.
Yeah, absolutely. My son actually threw up at school yesterday, and we had to go pick him up. So that's something you see often. But what about some of the other things that might not be as noticeable right off the bat, maybe like rashes or things of that nature?
Yeah, so kind of your common cough and cold symptoms you don't have to worry about as much, that nasal congestion, that cough. If you see a rash, especially if it's spreading or if it's uncomfortable, that's something that should always get checked out in case it's something allergic or something that can be contagious. Again, those are the biggest ones that I can think of.
And sometimes, I mean, it varies sometimes
Yes.
too, because like you said, a cough could be minor, but then, you know, things could escalate once your child gets to school or comes home from school for the next day.
Right.
So you just got to monitor them, don't you?
Yeah, and if anything is impairing their need to learn, that's a good reason to take them out and get them checked
Yeah,
out.
absolutely. Good place for people to find resources about all this?
So Intermountain Healthcare has some great resources. I'm also a big fan of healthychildren.org through the AAP. They have good articles on this as well.
I'm going to check that out myself. Ron, back to you.
All right, Jade, thank you.